Hi, everyone. Welcome to another webisode, I don't know what you call it, of Culture Mavens with my dear friend, Tom Teicholz. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Susan. How you been?
I'm okay. How long have we been doing this now?
I was thinking about that. We must be coming up to close to a year, right?
No, I think we started in the summer. Didn't we start in the summer? I think it's 7 months.
Yes. All right. So it's our half birthday.
Exactly. But it's been a while, and we're still finding things to recommend. It's amazing. I wish we could go to them, but we'll have to watch them for now.
Well, actually, we are starting to be able to go to things. And in fact, many of the museums are opening back up with limited by appointment visits. For example, the Skirball Cultural Center is reopening, and they have a new exhibit that's called Ai Weiwei Trace. And it is an exhibition by the celebrated Chinese artist and human rights activist Ai Weiwei. It was originally created in 2014 for a site-specific installation at Alcatraz about political prisoners. Ai Weiwei was put under house arrest by the Chinese government for 82 days. And so he wanted to make a piece about all the other prisoners in the world. And what it is these giant floor mats, which have different people's faces and names on them, each of them prisoners, and they're made out of Legos.
Wow.
And the artistry is quite crazy what they can do with them. But it is a piece that is more, in some ways, conceptual because he was under house arrest when he created it. And anyhow, it's good. It's fun to be back at the Skirball. It's fun to be seeing art. I do have some criticisms of the piece and sort of questions about the Skirball, but you'll have to wait to read my piece on it.
Wait, so you went already?
Yes, I did. I went to a press preview.
Oh, well, it sounds really interesting. I'm going to sign up because I'm dying to be in some artistic spaces besides this room.
Yeah, and later today, I'm actually going to the Broad, which is reopening for a press preview there. And I will tell you all about it next time.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Well, there are still some valuable things online. And I told everyone last time about this discovery of mine, the Hub from My Jewish Learning, which promotes or publicizes programming all over the country. And so I found two really cool things. One of them is a virtual tour of Jewish Toledo, Spain. It's one of the most beautiful cities in southern Spain. It's next to Cordoba, where Maimonides was born and lived for a while. And it's the culture, it's the food, it's a visual tour, it's a whole virtual entrance into Toledo. So that looks really good. But the other thing I thought people would find interesting is a Shtisel Season 3 discussion group coming from this rabbi who I happen to know in the Hamptons, who's running this 4-week Shtisel Season 3 discussion group for lovers of Shtisel to talk about it and take it apart and analyze it. You know I won't be attending that group because I'm not a fan of Shtisel, but I seem to be the only one. Everybody's always shocked, but I like to stand out. But I thought a lot of people might enjoy that. And I know your love, as opposed to my non-love, is ballet, and you have something to share about that.
Yes, it's really remarkable what's occurred with short dance films, the filming of dance. And for their spring gala, the New York City Ballet worked with Sofia Coppola and their artistic director, Justin Peck, to create a film, which is available on the New York City Ballet YouTube channel. And it is gorgeous and interesting. It's really a filmmaker. The camera angles she chooses, the way she films the dancers, it's really worth seeing. I recommend it highly, and it's beautiful. And the dancers are great. And one of my favorite dancers, Tyler Peck, spent most of the quarantine dancing in her kitchen, is back on stage. And it's really great to see her. She seems really strong, an even better dancer than she was before. The other thing is the American Ballet Theater flew out to Orange County, the Segerstrom Center of Art, and did a 5-week bubble. And they performed 2 new works, one by Lauren Lovett, one by Daryl Molty, and 2 sort of classic showcases. It's about an hour program. That performance is available on the ABT's site between May 12th and May 26th.
How do you find the Sofia Coppola film? How would one find it?
You go to the New York City Ballet's YouTube channel.
Well, those are film dance, but I have actual films, 2 great movies that I watched recently that I wanted to recommend. It's called The Testament. It's from 2019. It's an Israeli film about an Orthodox professor of history and sociology who was researching and trying to prove and find a mass grave in Austria where civilians killed 200 Jews. And because he's doing this and he's under a time crunch and the Austrian government is, denying it and he needs to prove it, or they're going to build condos or buildings over the possible grave, he has access to classified information about Holocaust survivors. And he finds a shocking secret about his own mother. He is researching himself secretly and the proof that something happened. And he has to find witnesses for both. And it's a very interesting, thoughtful film that I really enjoyed called The Testament. And the other film, which was made in 2020, is called The Windermere Children. I don't know why. I guess I was watching Holocaust films this week. The Windermere Children is such a beautiful movie. It's on PBS, about a group of children who were in Auschwitz and other camps who are orphans, basically, or they don't know if they're orphans. They seem to be. And they're brought to England, to this estate, the Windermere estate. And there are people there. There's a psychiatrist and all kinds of caregivers have 4 months to rehabilitate them because they're like feral. They're all about food and survival. And even the smallest child, they're terrified at every sound, at every dog. They're completely traumatized on every level, and they have to bring them back to life. And it's this beautiful film, true story. You actually see some of the actual Windermere children at the end who are, older. So that's another really beautiful film that I recommend.
Well, I also have a beautiful film to recommend, also about children. It's called Best Summer Ever, and it's like High School Musical. It is a musical, a boy and a girl who meet at summer camp. It's a dance camp, and he doesn't reveal that actually he's like the star on the football team, and his family doesn't want him to dance, and she doesn't reveal that her parents move around because they grow medicinal marijuana. But of course, they're going to get together. But here's the thing. This movie is distinctive because more than 50% of the people working in front of the camera and behind the camera are disabled. It's really, really fantastic to see this world presented where you have these capable, charming, good actors, talented singers, performers being able to do what they do. I know that it's been a rough year and we all can use some uplift.
Oh, for sure.
And I can't believe that someone at the Disney Channel doesn't watch this and say, this has got to be a series for us.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the best something ever, this is called the Best Summer Ever. This weekend, we are having the best shavuot ever at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. Until a few years ago, really, shavuot was kind of overlooked at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. And I feel in the Reform movement in general, but it's become very popular and very important. And it is an important holiday. It is the holiday where we receive the 10 Commandments. And the tradition is that you're supposed to stay up all night studying to remind yourself of ourselves of how we received learning on this night. So we are going to be having all night study in partnership with 4 other synagogues: Temple Emmanuel of Beverly Hills, Temple Beth Am, which is conservative, Stephen Wise Temple, Kehilat Israel, and Wilshire Boulevard Temple. And it kicks off at 6:30 with an amazing concert of all the cantors from these temples and these synagogues will be singing a beautiful concert at 6:30. And then starting at 8:30, there's going to be learning online. And at Temple Beth Am, I will be teaching live about the Book of Ruth. And it's going on till like 5 in the morning. I'm not going to be
incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. So I really recommend people, partaking, take one class, listen to the concert.
Take a nap, wake up later.
Exactly. I know you talked about in New York at the JCC, they've been doing this for years. And they always have a yoga class in the morning on the roof at sunrise. I mean, they go all out.
Yeah.
And what's amazing, I just want to say this. I know that there's a line around the block when it was live for people to get in to this Leil Tikkun Shavuot, as it's called, the night of the Shavuot.
Yeah, well, it became a happening. I went one year, and you could sort of wander through this building at 2 a.m, and everywhere you turn, there were different classes, music, chanting, yoga, artists. I do think it's definitely LA that has so many creative, talented Jewish artists and Jewish spiritual figures. It's something we should be doing for sure.
I'm so glad we're doing this, and hopefully it'll be a tradition that will continue. And just to conclude, we have a lot of really cool programs coming up this month. Medical Ethics with Dr. Gary Schiller this Tuesday, Midrash and Merlot with Cantor Lisa Peacock this Thursday. And then I want to make everyone aware, on May 24th, it's a Monday night, we'll be doing a special program marking the 1-year anniversary of the death of George Floyd. It's going to be a discussion about where we've been, where we are, and where we go forward. Have we made any progress since that time, since the verdict? And we have 3 really esteemed guests. Dr. Erica Holmes, a psychologist and runs the Trauma Center at Faithful Central Bible Church. And she focuses a lot on the trauma of racism on African Americans and other ethnic groups. Robin Washington, who is the new editor at large of the Forward. He's a Jew of color. And Dr. Bruce Haynes, he's at UC Davis. He's a sociologist and a professor, former professor of African American studies at Yale. Also wrote a book on Jews of color, or Jews from Africa. But I don't know if he's Jewish. It's not clear to me, but he's focused on that as well. And I hope you'll join us for that as well.
I mean, it's crazy, to think that a year has passed. And really, everything that's gone on, the protests, the trials, the election, the vaccines.
It's true.
It's been quite a year. 1 year.
Quite a year. And I don't really want to repeat it.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I still didn't clean out my closets.
I'm ready for some peace and some fresh air and some travel. Really, I think we all want to travel a little bit. So,
well, I will say to that, amen.
Amen. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Chag Sameach to Shavuot. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.